Balancing a Counter-Strike map is probably the hardest thing to do, yet one of the most important aspects of their design. Maps like Dust 2 are the quintessential example of that. This is what helps them stand the test of time. Playing at a disadvantage is not fun for anyone. Well, it's not like we haven't tried despite that, but in the long run, it's best to either sway the scales in the right direction or risk removal. Although not the end-all determining factor, equilibrium is imperative in a competitive environment. And yet, one has managed to oppose that sentiment, none other than Nuke. Conceived in 1999 by Joe Beeg, it's the first of its kind utilizing a multi-level approach. Verticality being the gimmick definitely made it stand out. That also makes it versatile. Although initially intended as a hostage map, this facility was converted to bomb defusal upon first release. That explains the useless fake bomb site underground. Evidently, it was popular and made it to the final map pool by 1.6. I wish I had something to show in terms of progress or evolution, but the map from inception to post-release has minimal changes ranging from lighting adjustments to small details, which is weird because the fake bomb site is still present and there exist potent map-breaking issues with clipping. Also, its spawns are only 10 per team, requiring plugins or Nuke 32 to accommodate for max players. In source, besides new visuals straying away from the rocky canyons, the aforementioned unpatched issues are fixed. Except I guess this now iconic boost has been made official. Moving on from design and structure, let's address something important. Nuke is CT-sided. Not the most profound statement, I know. This is how the map has been since day one. The many openings and angle advantages the CTs have makes even planting a difficult task. Going A is an instant death trap from so many angles you may not even know how you died. Going B is almost impossible too. Ramp choke point is hard to push, secret is impossible to get to, and vents is not for you. Let's not even get to the slew of wall bangs that exist within it. It is quite imbalanced, yet has always been one of the top maps in CS. Community servers would always play on it, and of course, in esports, always present, which is a massive contradiction to my earlier statements. It's the exception to the rule, and that is what really fascinates me about it. Of course, hindsight is 20/20, and as iconic as it is, maybe CSGO will reevaluate the layout. Well, that's unfortunate. Actually, bomb sites got updated, with secret being closed off as the most significant change. Honestly, I think this is the worst version of Nuke. Pushing as a T onto sites is even more difficult, with old frustrations still omnipresent. The lack of secret as another means to tackle B is the cherry on top. On the bright side, there is time to change, and boy has this map changed. Valve knew this version of the power plant is horrible, even by 2012 standards, so in December the same year, it was updated to feature changes based on prominent mapper Sal Volcano Garrozo's own version called DE Nuke VE. Secret is back, now in a familiar to most position, Toxic Room is new for B-side, plus some cleanup. A also received general simplification. Great start, but from here, the map would only receive simple optimizations, like thickening the B-side ceiling. Some 1.6 shenanigans were happening with that, apparently. In 2016, the remake happened. I speculate Valve knew about the nuclear issues and decided it was best to redo it rather than fix the old one. A lot has changed beyond visuals, but I'll keep it simple. Heaven has been halved, vents changed to have only one entry, new decon room on B-site, or single as it's called, silo has been made even easier to boost up to with a new catwalk that goes all the way to CT Heaven, and so many other smaller changes. Okay, this may not be exactly the best, it got a little bit carried away. From here on, it was all about refining it. Hut window removed, catwalk removed, but getting to heaven from outside is still possible, toxic removed, vent exit direction changed, and a slew of other smaller things over many updates. You get the point. At the end, this facility is a lot cleaner now. So after all that, what are the statistics in terms of balance? Atrocious, I can tell you that much. Now, I understand CS has always been a bit CT-sided. Looking at the stats, it shows. You can see how it fluctuates, while Nuke, a staple of competitive CS, consistently has a high disparity year after year. Train has also historically had the same flaws despite its rework. The difference here is someone woke up and decided to remove it eventually, while Nuke is still present. On one hand, CS itself has managed to refine balance in other aspects, facts concerning economy and equipment, but that doesn't seem to reflect on this power plant. Isn't it heresy for a single map to maintain its imbalance for so long yet persist as part of the active duty? I've seen people call for Vertigo and Ancients removal, Dust 2 being stale, Inferno relying too much on utility, yet not a whole lot on CT-sided Nuke being an issue. How? Obviously, it's not only about balance, otherwise every map would be a Dust 2 clone. The simplest way to put it is, it's fun. Fun to play and fun to watch. Landmarks are iconic, and strategy plays a crucial role. Earlier I mentioned versatility. This applies even more on today's version. Tees pushing have options instead of fully committing to a single site. After taking ramp, it doesn't require a full rotation to go A instead of B. Same for outside. For such reasons, it very often ends up forcing players to communicate. I can't really think of many matches where me and my teammates didn't use voice chat. Why won't anybody talk to me? It's not all sunshine and rainbows though. With issues relating to sound cues, this multi-leveled nuclear facility was often vetoed in pro matches and received a bit of hate for a while. As we see today, that attitude has not gone away, rather shifted towards other punching bags. So is the imbalance due to bad inherent level design, or is it merely an indication of how important team play, strategy, and coordination is? The complexity of its non-linear design demands from us much more than what a simple, predictable Mirage would. Essentially, skill issue. Watching a pro game can be an unpredictable spectacle. Regardless of how statistically it maintains a higher CT win rate, many of us will still queue, because it's Nuke. Definitely one of the most ubiquitous maps that has managed to captivate players since its inception. Perhaps the win rate disparity isn't a big deal. Very few maps have ever achieved perfect equilibrium. As long as it's not too high, it shouldn't be a problem. What is interesting is how it has become the only one to master the art of multiple elevation gameplay. We can argue Overpass too, but it's not exactly the same. Vertigo still doesn't count either. Now, here's the part where we discuss the future. Honestly, I have no idea what else is there to refine. Another rework or just a change so big it reshapes the meta? Seems perfect as it is, and Valve knows that, considering there haven't been any changes for a while. Removing it from the active duty may be an option to keep the map pool from being too stagnant. Nuke has come a long way, and what we have now, despite not changing for some years, is still a great map, a definitive improvement from the versions that preceded. A battleground full of surprises fitting for those seeking challenge to break the monotony. Close quarters combat awaits from the inside, while sniper duels can be heard outside. Its hallways are connected to everything, which can create a significant degree of uncertainty as to where the bomb will be planted. Is the enemy above you or below? That's for your instinct to figure out. This is just how Nuke is and always will be. As for me, I have places to go and things to do, like getting some double-sided tape for my hangars that keep falling off. What is it with their weak adhesive anyways? It also leaves a stain. That's just hard to...